Rose Ayling-Ellis held back tears as she reflected on how her mum Donna was insistent on teaching her British Sign Language despite experts advising her not to. As she applauded her mum's support, Rose wasn't the only one who was moved to tears, as those watching were also emotional. "Like many deaf children, I think I was struggling with the question, where do I belong?" Rose explained as she detailed how she'd felt growing up. She added, "Then when I was 15, Mum found me a weekend workshop for deaf teenagers. Originally, I didn't want to go, but Mum forced me to go. She was like, go, it will be good for you to go," but I was 15 at the time and I felt, I'm too old for this. Growing up, I would have loved to have had more deaf friends, and I think my mum wanted that too. So I went. I felt in a safe space because it was all full of deaf children, there was no one hearing there. And I remember we wrote the little play and I started acting, and then I completely fell in love with acting." Becoming emotional, the 28-year-old former EastEnders star added, "It's funny because you wouldn't think it at the time, but that was a really profound moment in my life. I never, ever considered acting as a career for me ever until that weekend. Mum did not want me to grow up not being confident, and I think she was really determined I was confident in who I am. My mum did that." Holding back tears, Rose added, "Oh, gosh," as her voice broke with emotion. Don't miss. Rose Ayling-Ellis shares King's lovely gesture ahead of coronation. Latest, Rose Ayling-Ellis slams medic unable to tell deaf mum her husband died. Interview, Giovanni Pernice breaks down in tears after reunion with father. Video, BBC viewers were also tearful as they responded to the moving documentary. Twitter user @Erosagio penned, "I don't quite have the words RN, but I'm so moved. What an incredible documentary. #signs4change." @FrancescaJane_ added, "Everyone should be watching the @Rose Ayling-Ellis documentary on BBC One. It's emotional, eye-opening, and she's such an incredibly inspiring woman." #signs4change. Already emotional at #signs4change. Just love @Rose Ayling-Ellis and all that she does. We're so lucky to have her enlighten us and introduce us to her world. @Sylvia_Louisa posted. @Katarina Jones wrote, "Yep. Crying. To think this is what my deaf grandparents faced." #signs4change. I'm watching a program by @Rose Ayling-Ellis on her experience of growing up as a #deaf child in a hearing world. Her mum was told not to let her learn #BSL as she wouldn't speak. We've moved on since then, but we need to make the learning of #BSL free to everyone who needs it, Joanna Turner-8 commented. @Lorval24 stated, "Sat here listening to @Rose Ayling-Ellis and feeling incredibly emotional as a mum to a child with profound hearing loss. Amazed by my little penny developing day by day and removing the stigmas associated with deaf people." @LeadFisher1 @Rose Ayling-Ellis shared, "You are an inspirational person." #signs4change was a very powerful documentary. Sick, Rose Ayling-Ellis, Signs4change is available to watch on BBC iPlayer.
Come spot of oil, and where the sun comes up from above. Now take